This is a rack of lamb. It's been Frenched, which means the inedible meat between the bones has been removed and the bones themselves have been trimmed so they look fancy. You can cook it confidently knowing that it's still just meat with a few bones attached. And here's everything you need to roast it with a classic herb breadcrumb crust. There is one key flavor missing here though, and it's not mint. When you crust a rack of lamb, you add lots of flavor to it, but you also protect it from the direct heat of the oven. And that means it doesn't have a chance to sear. And that's why it's a good idea to sear it first, then add the crust. That way you get the best of both worlds, the crust and the sear. A crust is a great way to add flavor and texture to a lamb. It can really be crunchy and delicious. It also looks really nice. And really, it's as simple as just seasoning breadcrumbs with your favorite flavors. Half a cup or so. Garlic is standard, but you can also flavor the breadcrumbs with any herb at all, fresh or dried, whatever happens to be your favorite. Lamb has a pretty strong flavor though, so your best choice of herbs are herbs with strong flavors. Things like thyme or tarragon, sage, oregano, and I'll show you how to crust with mint later. The lighter herbs though, things like cilantro or dill, they're just too delicate for the heat of the oven and the strength of the lamb's flavor. The best way to get breadcrumbs to stick to the lamb is to get the breadcrumbs to stick to themselves, and the best way to do that is with a splash of oil. The oil also helps the breadcrumbs brown while they bake. Mustard works really well here too. It's the traditional glue between the lamb and the breadcrumbs. And any mustard will do. Even that ballpark yellow stuff will work here. This is Dijon, and all you need is just a thin coating on all sides of the meat, not the bones. You're actually cooking two different things, the crust and the meat. And that's why 375 is your best choice, because any higher and the crust burns before the meat cooks through, any lower and the crust is just kind of soggy and it doesn't look very nice either. And you'll know when the crust is done, you can see it, but you can't see the inside of the meat, and that's why a meat thermometer is always your best choice cooking a rack of lamb. Lamb has always been served with mint, but when I started my career, there was only mint jelly. Most kitchens didn't even have fresh herbs yet, so let's just say things are a little bit different today, although we still serve lamb with mint, just not always in jelly. Pestos are perfect for freestyling because all you have to do is combine any fresh herb with any cheese, any nut, and any oil. And no matter what you choose, you'll end up with lots of flavor. In this case, fresh mint with goat's cheese, which has a strong enough flavor to stand up to the flavor of the lamb, and pistachio, for no other reason than I really like pistachios. And there's no particular formula here. Just toss in roughly equal parts of each ingredient and splash in enough oil to bring the works together into a chunky paste. I love pestos. This is such an easy way to get together a lot of flavor in a hurry, and mint always goes with lamb. Lamb is a lean meat, so it's best to cook it to medium rare or medium. So pull it from the oven at exactly 130 degrees Fahrenheit and then let it rest for a few minutes. It will actually keep cooking, and then you'll be rewarded with lots of flavor and moisture. Food historians actually point to the fact that spring mint grows with spring lamb, but they also point out that while lamb is a relatively recent delicacy, for most of food history we ate sheep, fully grown lamb with lots of strong flavor, the sort of flavor that would really benefit from being served with a strong herb like mint. This tastes simultaneously traditional, yet somehow modern at the same time. Either way though, lamb tastes good with mint.